Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways Teen Takeover Edition, where we talk about topics in the news as they affect us all. I'm Yasmin Basharu and I am joined by my amazing co-anchors. We have a new face here. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Salma. I'm 16 and yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Lovely. Hi guys, my name is Ite. I'm back again for day 2 and I'm really excited to be here.
We're really excited to have you here and our friends online. Can you hear us? Hello. Okay, well, how are you guys feeling? Salma, I know you haven't been here for a while. Oh, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, Yasmin.
Oh, yeah, could you please introduce yourself?
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
My name is Alpha, as some of you may know. I was here for the last Teens Takeover. I'm 18 and I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ezine. Just like Alpha, I was also here last year for the Waves Teen Takeover, and I'm really excited to be back.
Okay, this is
Hi
a
everyone.
reunion. Later
My
on,
name
yeah,
is
we can hear you.
Litam. Hi everyone, my name is Litam. I'm 19. Super excited, super pleased to be here. Virtually.
Okay, we're so glad to have all of you here. I hope you're all excited. And this is kind of like a mini reunion, honestly. So many familiar faces. So if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button now, like and share the link. Our topic tonight is the rise in Yahoo and the weak cybersecurity architecture in Nigeria. And here is what we found as today's quote. The wonderful thing about the internet is that you're connected to everyone else. The terrible thing about the internet is that you're connected to everyone else. Vinton Curve. So what do we think about that?
That is very real.
Obviously, we'd love to keep in touch with our friends, with our family, people that we're interested in, but you don't want everyone to be in your business all the time, 24/7. I don't know how influencers do it, but big ups to y'all.
100%. Yeah. Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with that quote because it just shows that there can be good sides and bad sides in being connected to everyone. I mean, good sides being it's opens a lot of opportunities for, I don't know, people wanting to socialize, maybe because of their career or just social life. But at the same time, we all know there are bad sides to everything. So
Yeah. Alpha, Latam, Isne. What do you guys think about the quote?
I would say, when we're all interconnected through the internet, through networking, I would say people, I guess, gain more audacity to say things they ordinarily wouldn't say to you, or to say to people that they don't actually know.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are more gutsy through the internet.
Yeah, I think the internet is a tool, as is technology, and the effect of a tool depends on whose hands the tool is in. So if it falls into the hands of the wrong person, obviously it should yield the wrong kinds of fruits, and vice versa. So it really depends on whoever is using it. It has capacity for great good and great evil.
Very true, very true. Isne,
I
anything?
think
Okay.
I think that the quote sort of speaks to the paradoxical nature of the internet in that it provides a lot of benefits but also disadvantages depending on how it's utilized.
100%. So when we open our phone lines, we'd love to hear what you have to say. But first, let's go on a break. And when we come back, we will see what we found in the news. Welcome back. You are still watching Ways. August 14 is observed as World Calligraphy Day. It is a day dedicated to celebrating the art of beautiful writing. It acknowledges the skill and creativity involved in calligraphy and promotes the appreciation of this ancient art form. Calligraphy has deep roots in many cultures, including Chinese, Arabic, and Western traditions. It has been used for artistic purposes and for recording important documents and religious texts. The day encourages the appreciation of different calligraphic styles, offers educational activities like workshops and exhibitions, and promotes both the preservation of traditional techniques and the exploration of contemporary innovations. So, who here has good handwriting? Because I don't know. Mine is very controversial.
I do.
Okay. Allegedly. Salma has really good handwriting.
I love calligraphy, actually.
I remember,
love
like, in
calligraphy.
primary school, where, like, one of our friends used to teach us how to write in calligraphy so that we'd send notes, you know, throughout the classes.
Wait, that's really cute, though. That's
That
really
is
cute.
cute.
I never got it, but
Deep. Anyway, so moving on to what's in the news. Ita, what do you have for us today?
all right. I have from OBJ's revelation. I earn 21 million naira monthly, says Kano senator. As controversy continues to trail the actual take-home pay of federal lawmakers in the face of nation's economic realities and the secrecy surrounding the monthly package, more facts have continued to emerge. This is against the backdrop of the recent revelation by former President Olusegun Obasanjo that members of the National Assembly fix bogus salaries and allowances for themselves in contravention of extant laws. A member of the 10th Senate and senator representing Kano South Senatorial District of Kano State on the platform of New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP), Abdurrahman Kawu Sumaila, has reacted to the controversy, revealing that he earns a cumulative 21 million naira monthly in salary and allowances. Wow.
That was a lot.
A lot. I was talking to my uncle about something really similar to this a while ago. I was just talking about how when you take positions where you're supposed to serve people, you aren't necessarily supposed to. I'm not saying you shouldn't earn money. That's like 100%. You should earn money. You're sacrificing and everything, but it's not something that you go into to earn a large amount of money. If anything, some people might actually lose money in that process because you're there to help other people. So hearing this story is really, I think we've lost the plot.
We have. And how can someone, even, it doesn't really matter, but taking home 21 million naira
every month?
Wow. Not even every year.
Wow.
When there are people that are barely scraping by 30K a month, it really shows, like, the rich are really getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
So true.
I noticed how when you read it, you didn't say it's just taking it home. They said that that's what it's meant for them to carry out all the promises that they made before they got into their position.
Exactly.
But how are those promises being carried out?
They are not being carried out.
Very unfortunate. So, Latham, what do you have for us today?
Hi guys. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assents to bill raising judicial official salaries by 300% via Channel News. According to a statement by the special advisor to the president on Senate matters, the president is committed to the welfare of Nigerian workers above all else. His special advisor continues to work lyrical. His visionary policy continues to uplift the millions of lives, ensuring that the dignity of labor is upheld and those who serve our nation are justly rewarded. In terms of my opinion, this is incredibly disappointing considering the president has yet to assent to the new national minimum wage of 70,000 naira. I mean, when you think about it, it's disappointing all around and disrespectful to all Nigerians. I think we had our fellow countrymen protesting based on bad governance and high food inflation, about 40.9%. So without the new minimum wage being implemented, salaries are already being increased by 300%. So it's nothing good to report on.
That's definitely very disappointing to hear. Completely agree with what you said. 300%.
In this economy?
Wow. Alpha, what do you have for us today? Alpha?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Right, so my news story for today is taken from the Punch newspapers, and the headline reads, NNPCL postpones Port Harcourt refinery cook-off 6th time. The Port Harcourt Refining Company, under the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in Rivers State, has again failed to commence operations after about 6 postponements, the Punch reports. It was observed that promises made to the Nigerians by the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and NNPC about the refinery have continued to witness multiple failures. Since December 2023, NNPC, which is in charge of all the government refineries, has given Nigerians different dates, assuring citizens that the refinery will begin the sale of refined products soon. Now, this story resonates with me in particular because I've been tracking what has been happening with Dangote. Now, he has been accused on many accounts by the government and by the NNDPRA that he is creating a monopoly by building the refinery in Lagos. And what Dangote said in response to that is that the first time he wanted this idea of building a refinery for Nigeria so we can produce for ourselves, he went to Port Harcourt, which already had an existing refinery, but it was just run down, and he offered to renovate it for them. Port Harcourt, that refinery would have existed today and would have been producing oil, but then they rejected his idea. So he had to spend 100 million of his own money to buy the land in Lagos on which his refinery sits today. And now, 3 years after that, we can see that NNPC still hasn't done anything with that refinery that is run down. So when you look at this kind of a situation, you ask yourself, who is in the wrong? Is it Dangote or is it the government? Because I wonder why, if you have the opportunity for the private sector to take control over something that will benefit everyone, why not give it to them? What exactly are you trying to preserve? And now we can see that they haven't even done anything with the opportunity they had with this refinery. So it's just very disappointing. It's very sad to see. If you are going to prevent the private sector from taking control, at least do your part. We need refineries, build them.
100%. We need refineries, build them. That's very, very true. I think this takes the cake as like the most irritating news to hear today, because can we truly say that we are an independent nation if we don't even have control over our key resource?
All the crude oil that we actually export, we keep we only earn like 6% of the profits of the ones that we export, while we can actually be refining this crude oil right here. Do you know how much money we'd be generating as a country if we could refine our crude oil and then export it to the different countries?
It honestly feels like some kind of cruel joke when you hear fuel scarcity, that Nigeria has fuel scarcity. Like it.
That is very.
Who is winning in this situation? Build the refineries. Anyways, let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we will dive into today's topic. Thank you for staying with us. You are still watching Ways. Thanks for staying with us. You are still watching Ways, and our topic for today is the rise in Yahoo and the weak cybersecurity architecture in Nigeria. As technology continues to advance, the rise in cybercrime, particularly Yahoo fraud, has become a significant concern. Yahoo, a term commonly used in Nigeria to describe internet scams and fraud, has escalated alarmingly in recent years. Today, we'll explore the intricate relationship between the surge in cybercrime and Nigeria's cybersecurity architecture. Despite advancements in technology, the country's cybersecurity framework remains notably weak, struggling to keep pace with increasingly sophisticated cyber threats. We'll examine the factors contributing to the rise in Yahoo fraud, including economic pressures, lack of awareness, and inadequate enforcement. Additionally, we'll assess the current state of Nigeria's cybersecurity measures and why they are failing to effectively combat these digital threats. So, what do you guys think about the topic? How has the normalization of cybercrimes, particularly Yahoo online fraud, become entrenched in Nigerian society?
Well, I'm just thrown back to when I almost got scammed last week, because I got, OTPs, like one-time pins.
Yeah.
I got a message on my phone that I got an OTP from, I think, Red Money or something, and I'd never signed up for Red Money, so I was a little bit confused. And immediately after, a number called me. But obviously, because I'm quite smart and that, I didn't pick up the call. But I used Truecaller to, check, you can check who's calling you. And all the comments under the number was scam, they're calling me from banks, they're saying that I have so-and-so amount in the bank, that I should send them the OTP, that they'll fix it, that their bank app is not working. And I'm like, a lot of people are actually getting scammed this way. And if we don't have enough education on what not to do and what to do, it's already quite bad, but it's going to become even worse.
And I feel like another reason why this is so normalized is because I feel like people in Nigeria don't take this thing as serious. Like, they use it to, play. Like, they don't seem ashamed of it. They're turning it into, a joke. And it's like, why is something this serious being turned into a joke?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because even people in secondary school, they're like, I'm going to call me a Yahoo boy. You're fantasizing something that is not really amazing.
Exactly. Alpha Latam, isn't it? Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you guys think about today's topic?
I mean, when you talk about Yahoo Boy, like Thomas said, it's almost like normal. People are not ashamed of what it really is. You can see Twitter threads of people directly engaging in this illegal act, talking about how they want to feed their mama, mama shouldn't cry, things like that. That's abnormal. But then it's normal to them. It's like Twitter threads of them posting things like that. And I just feel like us as individuals, us as citizens, we need to like take it seriously and clamp down on it. We have to like we have to turn the abnormal to what it really is abnormal. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that completely makes sense. Alpha, what do you think?
Normalization. To be honest, I'm not even sure what I think because, like you guys said, we've gotten to the point where people actually see this as their dream job. They fantasize like, I want to become a Yahoo boy in the future. And I guess it goes back down to that weaponized poverty thing I was talking about before, where if people are so degenerated, so deprived and depraved of basic necessities, whenever they see someone who even has a bit of abundance, they don't even look at where it comes from. They don't verify whether it's from a legitimate or a right source. They just want to get that, they just want to get the money. And if the Yahoo gets it fast and gets it easy, then it might as well be God to them because that is what they're after. So it's a difficult thing, to be honest. I'm not really sure.
100%. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think this is a very interesting topic, but I feel like my take on it kind of differs in the sense that I feel like even if it wasn't so like normalized socially, I feel like it would still be just as big as a problem because of like the dire economic circumstances that cause people to do this. Similar to what Alpha said. So I feel like if you use a more material analysis to like view the situation, then you would understand the sort of factors that drive people into commit cybercrime.
Saying that their parents told them to go to school to get money, like go to school so that you can make money. But the Yahoo boys are also meeting people up in secondary schools and are saying, oh, I can show you how to make money without going to school. So they're actually recruiting them from such a young age with the notion behind that, oh, if you do what I'm doing, you're going to get money quick and easy. You know, there are people in secondary school with cars, with laptops, with all these things, but they're making money in such illegal ways and they think it's fine because school hasn't really taught them anything to make money like quick, fast, and easy. It's always like in the long run.
I think I completely agree with that because I remember earlier Isney and I were speaking about how like, and this is a really like heavy claim, but like a lot of people just tend to like lose morality in a sense when you're really struggling, right? Because I made a claim, I was like, the average Nigerian, because you know what, all Nigerians tends to not be very moral and very just woo to the answer, just hurry up, skip to the parts where you get the money, you get rich and everything. And then, even if that means breaking the laws, but then Isney rightfully said that the reason why people might look at breaking the laws to get straight to the outcome that they desire is because following the laws doesn't seem to reward them, if you get what I mean. You see somebody that is hustling, going on the straight and narrow, but they are still struggling with the same person that is doing nonsense. Do you get what I mean? And the person that's doing nonsense now ends up scamming their way to the top. While you hear that they are following the right path, they're coming on.
Yeah,
so it's a matter of how you're getting. I'm not saying that you have to do good. You have to be a good citizen just because you're going to get rewarded for that. But it's just trying to understand what leads to the thought process behind doing the wrong thing. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I actually have something to say on that, the point that Yasmin mentioned. You said that we see that even going the right way of the law doesn't seem to give the results that you're looking for. And that's because the most fundamental feature of law itself in any constitutionally bound society is the rule of law. For law to abide, everybody has to be subject to it. There's no discrimination, there is no bias, there's no hierarchy. The president has to do the same things that the average citizens, have to do. And it's because we have gotten to the stage in Nigeria where our system of government doesn't really respect the rule of law. If everybody was following the law and everybody that did fraud got jailed immediately they did the fraud, do you think we will still be having people trying to like commit scams today? All of those things would have been gone. And so the onus is then on us, the people, and then on the government as well, to make sure that we're all abiding by the rule of law, make sure that we're not trying to skirt it. If one person flouts it, you might think it doesn't make a difference, but then if everybody has that mentality, it's not long before the entire country is thrown into anarchy. And then at that point, following the law cannot do anything to help you.
100%. So then since we've talked about some of the other things that might contribute to this, what do you think contributes to the perceived ease of getting rich quickly through online fraud mindset?
Influencers and some people in just that social media space. Because if we think back to Hush Puppy, I think, he was actually somebody that he didn't grow up rich. He grew up in a poor household. He was a carpenter for some time, and then all of a sudden, like a full 180 switch, he was rich. He was living lavishly, going on trips, going to Dubai, going to all these places. So people looking from the outside are looking in and like, oh my goodness, this person took 2 months and they're a whole lot wealthier than I am. I need to know what they're doing for me to get there straight, for me to get there at that same pace. So it's kind of like, oh, people are looking to get rich quick and not to get rich long.
I feel like some people sometimes get caught up in this cycle because you know how in school they usually like teach to like maybe become a doctor in the long run. Some people feel like that's too long. So some people just want to make their money now and maybe they'll say, oh, let me use it to start up something. So they're like, oh, this is the first and last time I'm going to do it. But then they realize that they make money from it. They're not like, I can't make money from it this quick. And they will continue doing it. And it becomes kind of like an endless cycle. Yeah. So I feel like that's another factor.
Yeah. Isne, can you hear us? Are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so what do you think?
Well, we already briefly touched on it before, but like it's sort of glorified in the media. A lot of the people who portray this kind of lifestyle online definitely aren't going to show the parts where they're getting locked up, or the parts where they have to talk to police, or the parts where the scam doesn't even work. Because from what I've heard, not that I would know personally, but a lot of these scams aren't necessarily as lucrative as you might think from what you see online. Because they oftentimes have to attempt to scam multiple different people before they actually find one person who falls for the scam. So I think just because of the way it's like glorified online, it's also become like the new thing.
That's so true. Because you see somebody that's, like you said, Hush Puppy, somebody that wasn't living this flashy and extravagant life before, and they're living it now. And you know in your heart, truly, everybody knows that the only way they're getting this amount of quick cash is through
fraud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But nobody is going to
actually do something about it.
And I'm so sorry, go on.
Because I was going to say that Hush Puppy wasn't even apprehended in Nigeria. He was actually taken to jail in the US, which kind of shows that cybercrime is a worldwide thing. But the downside is that why couldn't us as a nation apprehend such a person?
That's the thing.
Why didn't we have the means to actually say, okay, we've done wrong, we're going to do something about it? Why did he have to go all the way to the US to get apprehended? Why is it the US police or law enforcement? Why are they the ones apprehending him?
Exactly, because it seems like everybody else knows the weight of this crime, but we've just taken it and worn it as a badge of honor. The 419, the 419 nation. So it's like we said earlier, it's normalized. So in what ways do you guys think that the normalization of these cybercrimes influence the younger generation in Nigeria? Because now little kids like the age of my brother is 5, are seeing 419, Yahoo boys, everything. And it starts as a joke. You're seeing it in all these movies as this little joke, but then it becomes serious because you're seeing you don't have to work hard to achieve this. So in what ways do you think it influences the younger generation?
I feel like one thing I've noticed about this generation is they like to follow trends. So if one person they see, for example, like Hush Puppy or someone who's trending online and stuff like that, they see that they're making money like that and they're making a joke out of it. if they want to, like, genuinely, if they want to get famous or whatever, they're going to want to follow that trend. And their friends are going to want to follow that trend. Because young people, they tend to get influenced by their peers very easily as well. So I feel like
that's why I'm very all for transparency, especially with social media influencers, because we need to know how you're getting your money.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini, I'm going to buy a Range Rover, I'm going to buy a 30 billion house, you know, in Banana Island. How are you making your money? I know it's not from these TikTok dances that you're actually making your money. So I think when people start to understand the way people are making their money behind the screens, then we can have a little bit more respect for what they're doing.
But you know, that just feels so idealistic, right? I mean, let's just put ourselves in this position for a second. You're struggling, you're seeing people balling. Maybe those people, and it doesn't have to be people balling like people that did scams that are balling. Maybe people that are born with generational wealth. Because, you know, they're still very... And Nigerians are flashy. If you're successful, everybody in the world is going to know you're successful.
Yeah.
So then you're seeing that you're struggling. And then, let me just tell you, there are some people that can go to the best schools. There's some people that can even just be the best at some very mediocre schools, and then they still end up struggling.
Definitely.
So it's very easy for us from a privileged standpoint to be like, follow the law for the sake of the law, as Alpha said. But what other motivation can there be to just go towards the right path? Because like I said, this economy isn't very motivating. It doesn't really benefit or reward good behavior, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So what can necessarily guide you against this?
But you know what? People who engage in like 419 and like fraud, it's not as if they're like dumb, because they use brain power to be able to manipulate people in the way they do. So if they just use that same brain power and deviate it to something positive, I bet you they'll be able to make that money, if not more.
But who told you that?
They actually will, because they use the same brain. Like, for example, people who do fraud, they're probably good at like math and everything. They're calculating the money they're going to get. They're calculating.
That's what I'm saying. But you can be good at math, you can be good at English, you can even be good at comp sci, but you can still be struggling. But here you're using your talent to make money.
I think the issue is just a skill gap. Because if people with this type of like aspirations, if they went to like a place that had like cybersecurity, education and stuff like that, they can learn how to like fix those inadequate networks, because that's the only way cybersecurity works. If you have inadequate networks, network infrastructure where people can actually easily hack into systems, easily hack into business emails, you know, bank accounts and stuff like that. If you actually taught how to train yourself and use those talents for good, you can actually make way more money in the long run than you can doing those quick and easy frauds.
That's true. Alpha, are you still with us? Alpha?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
you.
Yeah, so what do you think?
To be honest, it has said something about a skill gap. I feel like it's more than a skill gap, because Nigerians learn very, very fast. The people that are indoctrinated into this cybersecurity crime sort of thing, it's like they enter the Yahoo game one day and they're an expert at it the next day. So I feel like we need to think in terms of systems and not in terms of people, because even if they were to upskill, where would they apply those skills that they have gotten? You know, you said that, okay, fine, some of them are good at math or comp sci or physics. The organization, the EFCC, that's supposed to be tackling this cyber crime, why are they not employing the people who are actually good at these things to combat it? Why are they not recruiting? Why are they not seeking opportunities for these people to develop them, to nurture them, to grow them, to be able to combat the cybersecurity problem? So it's like the systems for pulling these people out of this cybersecurity fraud scam thing that we have going on in Nigeria, those systems don't exist. It's like once they are into that game, we as a country just seem to condemn them. And then if we just leave them, it'll just keep multiplying, you know. So it's systems to get them out, systems to rehabilitate them, and systems to put those skills that they will eventually learn to good use.
Later.
I mean, like Alpha said, we don't create an environment to nurture the talents. We talked about it yesterday, how multiple Nigerians were representing nations and winning medals for those countries, because the reason why they're doing that is because we don't create that environment for them to thrive in our country. So yeah, I think that's one thing to talk about. And I would say that a lot of people enter Yahoo from a standpoint of a lack of hope. When you don't see a way out, when you don't see the possibility of succeeding legitimately, you end up going to that kind of area. I think I saw someone say that the type of Nigerian who suffers is the person who chooses to do things the right way. And I just wonder why we have a society, we have a nation where doing the right thing is perceived as a disadvantage. Yeah, that's one thing I would like to say. Yeah.
We would love to continue this conversation, but please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. We will take a short break and continue this conversation later.
It's summer and time to hear what the teenagers are saying. Ways Teens Takeover 2024 promises to be an amazing week as our teenagers take over the show to discuss all national and social concerns as it affects them. Join your faves from last season: Alpha, Yasmin, Adora, Salma, Morolake, Ezinne, Ite, and watch out for the new additions to the team: Barisudo, Letam, Oluwajeriarare, and Oluwatominini. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us across all our social media platforms, and most importantly, tell every teenager you know to be a part of a special summer edition. Starting from the 12th of August through to the 16th of August 2024, these amazing teenagers will be on your TV screens. Ways Teens Takeover, where the voices of our teenagers count.
Welcome back. If you are just tuned in, we are still discussing the rise in Yahoo and the weak cybersecurity architecture in Nigeria. Please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Our phone line is now open, so please call us on 07025007749. So we just got a message saying there was a recent case of 1 billion naira worth of data and airtime was stolen from Airtel by two boys.
I don't really remember because I think it was around the protest time, like the first few days of the protest. Everybody thought the government shut down the networks because they don't want us to know what's going on. Meanwhile, it's these boys from uni that took the opportunity and said, no network for any of you.
Wow. I'm starting to think that Nigeria is just filled with geniuses because the brain power that it takes to do that kind of thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's not good, but I'm okay impressed.
And I think Nigeria's tried to combat it in many ways. We have an agency called the National Information Technology Development Agency, which they're trying to combat cybersecurity and just oversee it in the country. But I think the issue is that they don't really have a legal framework to back them up. I know that you talked about the cybersecurity policy of 2015, the Act of 2015, and I think it's just implementing it that is really our issue.
It is 100%. Because the thing, nobody can say that we don't have consequences. We have consequences for, you have child pornography. You have to be fined for 20 million. Don't fact check me. 20 million. You go to jail for about 3 years. Every crime has its own consequence, but then are these consequences actually being carried out? Do you get what I mean? I mean, it's there on paper, but is anybody actually following through with it?
Absolutely.
Because this lack of follow through as well has led to us becoming desensitized to this issue. Do you guys think that we've begun to see it as a norm, or?
I think a lot of Nigerians see it as a norm because even when we go outside, there are people that even have brands called 419, people outside of the country know us for our scam. Everyone knows the Nigerian Prince scam.
Guys, we can't catch a break. Sometimes it's actually not even Nigerians anymore. The Nigerian Prince, no, I actually had to advocate for my people because the Nigerian Prince scam sometimes, I think one time like this, it was an American
that did it.
Yeah, so now people are getting inspired.
True. That's what we like to do as Nigerians,
inspiring people. But it's actually really terrible. Someone, you were telling me.
Oh yeah, I was telling you. So I feel like Because all this like for one, and at first I was thinking, okay, it's people that are struggling. But it was only when my friend came to me and told me she wanted to buy, what's it called? Was it Biscoff? It wasn't even under, that was a separate story. She wanted to buy Biscoff from the supermarket, and she said she needs 4K, but she doesn't have 4K. So she said she was going to scam people or scam a bank app or something. She'll collect a loan, she will never pay them back. I was looking at her like, and she was really ready to go through. She downloaded like 3 different apps for it, and I was just really looking. And it's not as if she's struggling or like she's comfortable. So I just feel like it's become like such a norm.
Yeah.
Like people are laughing about
and
it.
it's a trend,
It's a
honestly.
trend.
Because if you even look on like Snapchat stories, Instagram stories, or pull up, swipe up if you want to win Kiniko, if you want
do you know I've fallen for that before? I've actually fallen. Can I tell you guys a story, please? So, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry because I received a message on Instagram saying, "Oh, solve this riddle and you win £700." I remember that digit very well. I was like, "Huh?" And that reason I'm very good at riddles. So I solved the riddle fast. He said, "You're the only one who got it correct. Clap for yourself." I was clapping. They said I should send my account details. I sent it. Myself, I sent it. And then they were now like, "Okay, but for you to collect it, you need to send $50 to claim your prize." I said, I texted my mom. I said, "Mom, see you, my Rachel. I've collected $700 for the family." She said, send me the account details. Then send them your account details. And I said, "Oh, but mommy, they're saying we should send £50 to claim it." She said, "They are mad." She said, "They are mad." And that's when I knew that this thing was actually real. Because
like I think another one of my friend, like they texted her, they were just like, "Oh, I really love like your photos. I want to like draw you or something.
Yeah.
I'll pay you for it." And then she's just like, "Okay, there's no harm in like somebody like drawing me."
Yeah.
Do you get? They're just like, and then they now came back to her and just like, "Oh, one of my buyers said that they want to buy your drawing for like I think it was $1,000, like Canadian dollars."
Wow.
And she was just like, "Wow, yes, please." So she sent her account number and they sent her $2,000. And she was just like, I think you were only supposed to send me 1,000. They're like, no, send it back, send the 1,000 back, send the 1,000 back that, we did a mistake. But actually what they do is they cash in a fake check and they send you that 2K. And then when you pay them back, you're actually paying them fake money because it's not actually your money, it's not actually their money. Do you get? And then it now gets flagged by the bank, and then both of you will now go to jail for fraud.
Oh wait, I don't understand. What are they now gaining in that?
They're gaining the 2K, but the 2K will come from her account.
So
do you get? So it's now looking like it's actual money, but it's not.
Everybody, please stay safe out there.
actually,
Is Nia still with us?
Yes, I am.
But yeah, do you have anything to say about the topic? Like how we become desensitized?
No, I don't think I have any sort of like how we become desensitized to cyber. I think it's just like so pervasive in our society.
No, but yeah.
Kind of like a thing of you can't nitpick everybody. You can't say that, oh, Nigeria as a whole country were all fraudsters. Do you get? It's only the select few, but the select few are quite good at what they're doing. That it feels as if us as a whole country were all 419ers.
true.
So when fraud is depicted as common or a humorous element in media and social discussions, how do you guys think it affects the perceived severity of these crimes? For instance, like I said earlier, like when you're watching like any Nollywood movie, they have to make a 419 joke or a corrupt policeman joke, but then we'll touch on that later. But then it's never missed. You see it in all these skits. So I mean, on one hand, it can be just a light-hearted joke, a problem that we all understand, a way that we're bonding as a country, I guess, with our suffering. But then at the same time, it also just doesn't make it seem like that deep at all.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's so many people that have actually been charged with fraudulent charges, but they go out on bail with that same money that they got from fraud. So there's actually no like consequences to their actions because now they found like a loop where they can always get out of because I have this money and the people that are sorry, what's the word? convicting me.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are convicting me, they also want a little something under the table. And I
Exactly.
can give them the little something under the table. So at the end of the day, what I'm doing, I'm not actually going to get any consequences at all.
Mm-hmm. And can we talk about how tempting that is to the average person in a struggling economy? Like, let's just look at it. The main goal is making money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're privileged, you can say other things like, no, guys, not money. Let's also look at happiness. Let's also look at passion. No, when there's no food on your table, it's money.
It's money.
Right?
That's so true.
The main thing is money. You're going back home and you're talking to your parents, and your parents are like, go to school for money. Go to school so you can make money. And you're seeing your friends driving cars, and your friends are making money because they're doing Yahoo on the side.
And those are the ones that are failing classes.
Those are the ones that are failing classes. They're not doing the school that your parents said that you should be doing.
Exactly.
They're not reading books, staying up at night.
So what you're saying is, okay, so this person that actually went to school, they're working at some place and they're actually groveling to get minimum wage. Yet this person that decided to be skipping classes 24/7 is with their BMW in their house in Banana Island.
Exactly.
Which path should I go on?
I think parents just need to be more intentional
Yeah.
about the reason, like making their children understand the reason why they
they're
are going to school. You are not just going to school to earn money.
You're going there to acquire talent, acquire skills that will actually help you in the future, definitely.
Yeah.
Because technically speaking, Yahoo is a skill. Like technically speaking, you are applying your skill and you're using your skill to make money, right? But I guess use your skill in a productive way. Let's help people.
In a legal
That's
way.
exactly, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can use those skills to create firewalls, to go into jobs, cybersecurity jobs.
Exactly.
Because those are actually raining now, because everybody's going into IT, and we can actually use these skills like for good. You get
Yeah, that's
people are creating firewalls, people are creating ways to just combat hacking and stuff like that. So if they could use their jobs for good, there are people that are paying big money to have somebody that works in cybersecurity for their business.
Later.
So like the test said, last everyone is going into IT, more fraudsters are coming up, but that also creates the opportunity for jobs like, for example, an ethical hacker. That's someone who intentionally hacks into a system, into a company's framework to see any vulnerabilities or any issues. So if we can just empower obviously talented individuals to harness this towards something positive, then definitely we can create more jobs for them. We just have to create that environment for them to succeed.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think to add on to that, in terms of like cyber fraud and how normalized it has become, I think I heard something, not completely sure, but people are creating some schools or some sort of education to actually like indoctrinate people into like cyber fraud on how to do it. So we need to curb stuff like that.
Alpha, are you still there? Oh, well.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jasper.
Yeah, well, let's move on to talking about policies, right? I know we spoke about the law earlier. So do you think that Nigeria's cyber laws are adequate, and what improvements do you think can be made to enhance their enforcement? Because we have the laws, but they aren't being enforced, obviously. As
Yeah, I've read through the act. It's a huge page document,
Very huge.
but then enforcing. To be honest, I feel like our digital framework in Nigeria itself needs to be made more robust. I've noticed that in Nigeria, we don't really work with data, and that's a problem that has been haunting us for years. Latam was telling me something the other day about how the people in, what office was it, Latam? They were working with paper and pens.
NAFDAC.
NAFDAC, people who are supposed to be documenting the legality and the food quality of our drugs and our food in the country are taking notes with paper and pen instead of using computers. So if we have 10 more fraudsters come up today, how exactly are we supposed to be able to account for them? How are we supposed to find out who they are? How are we supposed to track them when we don't know how to work with data? So I feel like the laws themselves are good. Our implementation needs to involve a lot more technology. We need to build software architectural systems. Like some of you guys said already, firewalls and programs, to teach guys how to do ethical hacking so that we can have people who actually work with data to fight these guys. Because it's not like they're playing. So like, why should we be slacking off, So that's my 2 cents on that particular thing. It's just use data to implement your policies.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I completely agree with that. Because at this point, it feels like the government or people that will at least be catching the people committing cyber crimes are playing a losing game.
Yeah.
Because the people that are supposed to be catching are light years ahead of you. They have the tech.
Yeah.
Actually, they don't really have the tech. They can hack. They can be doing all of this with the simplest devices ever.
Yeah.
But they're playing a completely different game that you are not currently equipped to even win.
I think something we also need to start doing is like conducting like regular security audits in businesses, so that you don't find yourself in it trying to patch up the mistakes or the things that the hackers have done, but you're already ready for them to come in. You've already created like a type of firewall, like Alpha said, that they can't even come and penetrate into your business.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's called preventive maintenance. That's the thing. Nigeria, our maintenance culture is unfortunately is very poor. When we build infrastructure, we don't think how it's going to last 20, 25 years from now.
Yeah.
I watched an exclusive that we had with GRV, Badebo Road Survival, on the architectural outlook of Lagos, which is supposed to be a mega city. And Lagos is one of the fastest sinking cities in the world, and every single day we're seeing new skyscrapers and high-rises being built. These people that are building these things aren't thinking of how it's going to affect the quality of the land in the next 20 years. They just want to build so that they can rent it out and make their money. So that preventive maintenance culture, that you rechecking, doing the regular security audits, checking, even if there's nothing to check, at least check and make your systems more robust so that if something does happen, then you'll be prepared for it. We don't know how to do that, and I guess we should start learning how to do that if we actually want to fight these guys and win on their turf.
Isn't it?
Hello.
Yeah, could you hear what you think?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of policies, in accordance with what I've been saying before, I feel like even though the people who are committing these like criminal acts need to be punished, I think preventative policies in terms of lifting people out of poverty is also very necessary, because if you can stop them from going down that path in the first place, not only is it going to be good for the economy, but it's going to save you a lot of the resources it would take to like prosecute these criminals and keep them in jails and everything. Because, for example, there was this very popular clip from the End Bad Governance protest that went viral of this, his 13-year-old son is a coder, and he can make simple apps from his phone and people can use them, but there's no resources for him to like elevate or for any way where he can show his talents in a way that's like a sustainable, livable income. And a lot of Nigerians rallied around to provide money for the dad to get the son a laptop and everything. But what I'm saying is there's obviously a lot of talent. And so if we had like preventative policies in terms of computer science workshops, industrializing the country in terms of technology, like Alpha said, I think it would really help a lot from stopping people from going down the pipeline, because in more developed countries, they're not doing cyber crimes, they're just doing the regular pathways of coder, software engineer, ethical hacking, cybersecurity. So I think that would be a really good policy.
I really love that you brought the conversation to solutions, because I wanted to ask you guys what initiatives you think can be proposed to increase awareness and educate individuals through community programs, school curriculum, and media campaigns,
More about prevention. Circle back to what Yasmin said about the media, because I feel like the world right now is like people watch TV lots, to put it simply, and like you said, 419 is kind of being presented as like a joke. So rather than doing that, since people listen a lot to what they see on TV, it should now like they should show the consequences through film, because film is there to tell a story. Film is there to help the world. Film is not just there for entertainment. So I feel like they could show the consequences of what could happen if you indulge in these activities. That could make a difference.
And also the same way that in schools we have IT and ICT as a subject, as WEC or like IGCSEs, we should also have cybersecurity implemented into those subjects, so that as people are going in, they would understand that, okay, this ICT that I'm doing, there's also a security side of it that I also need to understand, I also need to learn. And if I'm truly interested in that, I can go into industrial workspaces that actually cater to what I really want to do.
Exactly.
And like you were talking about the youth, right? And how people like to follow and like the trends and stuff like that. So I feel like they could get youth advocates to speak about it. I feel like they'll be more listened to rather than like adults, because people like to listen to their friends.
We
So.
do like to talk. I think I completely agree with that, and I love that we're looking at the root of like not telling people don't do this is bad, because also the time when you're trying to stop something that's like a really big problem in a particular country or a particular area, you just have people going to schools, going on social media, being like don't do this,
Yeah,
don't
from
do
an
that.
aggressive standpoint.
Exactly, not even necessarily from an aggressive standpoint, but don't tell people what not to do.
Yeah.
Tell them here is what you can do with the skills that you have. Like
Yeah.
open more doors. Clearly we can see that with the amount of cybercrime we have a lot of people that are very inclined to tech in Nigeria, but somehow that's not the biggest industry right now that we have. We have a lot of people that will thrive in that, but instead of giving them opportunities, we're like, hey, listen, we know we haven't caught you today, but I swear if you hack my laptop, I'll catch you tomorrow. Like, just let them know that there are other ways that your skills could be applied. And I really love that that's a key solution. Like, if we're taking anything away from today's episode, there are other options, and we should focus on opening more doors for people that kind of find the opportunities to use their skills for good. Anyways, Leigham, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. I think with what you're saying about educating people, we also have to ensure that we educate those who might not be represented, like the market woman, the person who doesn't understand English. We need to take direct measures. We need to talk to those people directly, in whether in their mother tongue or in their native language, to ensure that they know the possible issues that could arise. Because some market woman can receive a phone call from one person before she's sending her code. So we need to talk to those kind of people who are underrepresented, who might not be visibly seen, but who are suffering every day from cyber fraud. I think it's important to look at this kind of.
I'm saying we really need to teach these people how to fish rather than just giving them fish. Yeah,
100%. But yeah, I love that we didn't just look at the problems, but we also look at the solutions. So do you guys have any more solutions that we could have looked at that we didn't discuss today?
I think like raising awareness, having training surrounding this whole issue, that's really what's going to try and drive towards the solution points that you're trying to make.
And change starts from home. So also the way, like the mindset they get from home. So parents teaching their kids that going to school is because they want to, I don't know, pursue their passions, not because they want to kind of make money.
Just make
Yeah,
money.
definitely.
They shouldn't be too money hungry.
Focused, yeah.
It was anybody trying to say something?
Yeah, I was
Okay, yeah.
Alpha. I was going to say that the glorified and the exalted nature of the scammers and the fraudsters itself is the scam. If you are educated enough to open your eyes and to see beyond what they put out on social media, saying that, okay, you can get rich quick, you realize that that is just them luring you into giving your money away. So it's never been about them flexing their money. They're not putting all these things out there with a vision to show that they've made it in life. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is to indoctrinate more people that they can exploit. So the status of these scammers is part of the scam. So people should be vigilant. We should watch out. And we should take the adequate measures to counteract all of this.
Exactly. Do you want to say something?
The psychology of fraudsters, sometimes they're actually kind of looking for validation and admiration from people.
Yeah.
So us, as especially Gen Z, that were always praising these fraudsters, always praising these 419s, we actually need to stop, because you're actually pushing them to do the wrong thing instead of telling them, like, holding them accountable for what they're doing. So
I completely agree with that. And I love that you made it clear as well, you and also Alpha, that the scam is the life that you're living. It's very, very intentional. It's not just to be like, hey, look at me, I'm thriving, but it's to indoctrinate people, which is why, like, while we can say that you should take it upon yourself to be intentional and to be vigilant and everything, we should also urge parents to, like Salma said, just make it clear why we do the things that we do, why you want your children to do the things that they do, and just create an environment where they can develop their own moral compass. Let them just be very intentional about why they're going to school, why they're going to hustle, and why money isn't all that matters, Yes. So thank you all for joining me today. We have 3 minutes before the show ends. So does anybody have any last thing to say?
Me, I would say, like Alpha said earlier, I think we're not data driven in Nigeria. From some of the things I've read, I think the last population census we had was in 2006. And I think when we start to become serious with data and with statistics, and us as individuals and us as citizens see how much money we lose as a country due to cyber fraud, we'll start to take more action, start to stand up, start to educate ourselves and educate others. But I think in about 2018, we lost about 15 billion naira to cyber fraud alone. So if this kind of statistics can be published regularly, can be talked about in schools, talked about in the marketplace, talked about in different places, as a country, we're going to start to fight against cyber fraud because, like someone said, it really starts from home.
Okay, so thank you so much. Before we go, do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements. And remember to like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch us and follow us. If you missed our quote, here it is. The wonderful thing about the internet is that you're connected to everyone else. The terrible thing about the internet is that you're connected to everyone else. Vinton Curve. See you tomorrow, and please stay safe. Bye.